before we.
Okay. Welcome, everyone, to the Visionary Leaders Collective podcast. I am Dr. Josie, one of the founding members, and I'm thrilled to have you join our vibrant community today. Every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, we gather for insightful and educational conversations that are sure to inspire. If you've missed any episodes, don't worry, you can catch up on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. And stay connected with our community by visiting our website, hellovisionary.life. And please subscribe to our weekly newsletter so you can receive text reminders. And if you love what you hear, your 5-star review would mean the world to us. So today is extra special as we have the privilege of featuring Doterra leaders, Arin Fugate and Aisha Harley. Get ready for a sizzling Valentine's episode where they are going to be sharing their top tips for a sexy celebration. Join us as we dive into passion potions, intimacy secrets with essential oils with both Arin and Aisha, rock stars in aromatherapy and all things spicy. They will be dishing out the juiciest insights on using essential oils to spark passion and excitement. So get ready and let's have that passion unfold, ladies.
Woohoo! You guys ready? Are you ready to spice it up? I'm so excited. Thank you, Dr. Josie, for that
Yeah.
introduction. I'm so excited to be presenting with my dearest friend and business partner, Arin Fugate. And we would love for all of you to chime in on the chat as we go through this exciting presentation today. So welcome to Passion Potions, Intimacy Secrets with Essential Oils. Today we embark on a journey of self-discovery, self-love, and central connection. In the next hour, we will explore the art of crafting passion potions using the therapeutic power of doTERRA's essential oils, beginning with the foundation of self-care and leading to the enhancement of intimacy with others. So let's dive into the world of aromatic elixirs and unleash the secrets to a more intimate and fulfilling life. Arin, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Thanks, Aisha. Hi, everyone. We're so happy to be with you today. And I love February. I love Valentine's Day. It's such a great time to center ourselves into the frequency of love. And you might be coming to the call thinking that you're going to get tips for your romantic life. And you will, but you really can't love someone else unless you love yourself first. So we want to start with a pledge. So hand up on your heart. I will be my own Valentine first, and I'll learn to love myself first. All right, everybody agree to that? You can't pour from an empty cup. So taking care of yourself is going to make you more sexy, more vibrant, more desirable, and you'll have more love to give. I'll pass it over to you. Oh, it's still me. Next slide, please. That's you, Aisha. I'll get it.
So this is a new word for me. I'm sure we've all heard about the power of giving ourselves a hug, but it's called havening. Did you all know that? Did you all know this term havening? Hugging or caressing yourself, sometimes while voicing positive affirmations, can have a very positive effect. It can help boost your immune system. It can ease depression and fatigue and fight infections. And this is a beautiful way to start the day. So I encourage you or invite you all to grab an oil. Just grab whatever you have near. I have, of course, my beloved rose. And I'm going to add that we all put the oil on and give ourselves a 10-second hug. So we are all going to have a little self-love this morning. So put your oil on, put in the chat what oil you're using. And let's all start by taking a few long, deep inhales. So take a nice deep inhale and release the exhale. And inhale love into all of your cells. And exhale anything that is not needed. And one more time, inhale. Nice long deep breath and release the exhale. And then give yourself a big hug and close your eyes, and you can even rock a little bit. And then squeeze a little tighter. You know, sometimes you have those hugs and you just don't want to let go. So sink into that deep, nourishing care and love and respect for yourself. Okay. Doesn't that feel better? And that's such an easy and quick thing to do. I would encourage all of you to embrace this practice. It's a wonderful way to wake up. You can do it in bed rather than reaching over and grabbing your phone and looking at your phone first thing in the morning. Grab your essential oil and just take a few centering breaths and then give yourself a big hug before you get out of bed.
Aisha, real quick, because this is relevant, I've come across recently that children need 12 hugs a day to thrive. So I think we should probably turn that on ourselves, that we need 12 hugs a day. And I love that you're pointing out that we can give it to ourselves.
Absolutely. And of course, I think we all know the benefits of hugging one another, but sometimes that's not always an option. And if you live alone or if you're single, sometimes we can actually become touch deprived. And that can have a negative impact on our psyche. So there are ways that we can nurture and touch ourselves that are very beneficial and very healing and very important. So we just wanted to bring some awareness to this. Okay, there we go. Okay, Arin, some of you might recognize these beautiful affirmations. We have done these as a community, but we wanted to bring them back to your attention. So Arin, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Yes, thanks so much. So this comes from something called the mirror exercise. And this can be really good for you to do, especially if it makes you uncomfortable. If that hugging yourself made you uncomfortable, or if us talking about self-love makes you uncomfortable, if you notice you get a little like, ooh, you might want to embark on a mirror exercise. So try this for 40 days and you will be amazed at the changes you start to see. You can look in the mirror and say this to yourself: I am enough. I am worthy and deserving. I forgive you. I trust you. I allow myself to receive. I'm healthy and vibrant. I love you. There may be tears, so I would encourage you to bring in an oil like Whisper or Console, something that makes you feel safe, and just watch what happens when you engage in this positive self-love talk over the next 40 days. Okay, next slide.
So before we dive into all the sexy passion and potions, we wanted to give you some ideas and suggestions for your own self-care ritual. As Arin said in the beginning of this presentation, if our cup is empty, we don't have a lot to give anybody. And this is so critically important. How we love ourselves is what teaches others how to love us. It also models to our children how to care for ourselves. because all the things that we do get mirrored by our family members and children. So the more that we can implement small daily habits in our life that can have big lasting impact, this is going to support your mental health, your physical health, all of the things. And I know many of us listening on this call know this, right? Because a lot of us, um, this is really important. But I think that it's always good to have reminders, and it's always good to look at your own self-care routine and ask yourself, what are a few steps that I could bring in that could really make a big difference? So I'm going to just read through this list that we have, especially if you're listening and not watching the podcast. And I want you to just pick one or two of these that you can commit to bringing in on a regular basis. So I kind of made this list incorporating the essential oils and incorporating just some really powerful habits. So the first one is just simply to drink a warm glass of water first thing in the morning with, you can do any citrus oil, but I put 3 drops of lemon oil. This is actually an Ayurvedic technique, and it just helps flush all of the toxins out of your body. It's so simple. It's so easy. Just warm glass of water with a little bit of citrus oil. Also doing a daily meditation. I'll also add, or a daily gratitude practice is a really powerful thing to help center your nervous system and to really ground and stay centered in your truth. Before doing this, applying some frankincense or sandalwood to your brow points can really help open up these centers of your intuition and help deepen your meditation. Arin, can you mute everybody? There's a little sound coming in. You
Can you unmute, Aisha? Okay, I'll have to unmute everyone.
okay? So okay, I'm unmuted. Sorry, I couldn't do it with the presentation share. It's just very difficult to navigate. Okay, is everybody else muted?
Yes, we're good now.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so use essential oils in your skincare routine. Something that I love to do and I've been doing for many years, and this can be a wonderful thing to do with those daily affirmations, is to simply take your bottle of Immortelle or Rose or Blue Lotus or Yarrow Palm and literally draw a heart on your face and then work that oil into your skin and also or draw it right over your heart. So this is really nourishing for the skin, but it's just a wonderful thing to do that just literally takes a moment. Of course, baths and saunas are so wonderful for your nervous system and a healthy thing to do. And you can use your essential oils, your favorite essential oils, mixing them with sea salts, and or we're also going to give you some body scrub recipes today. Learning how to do a self-oil treatment. This is really powerful, and I'm excited to share that next week, or is it next week? No, in 2 weeks, Dr. Josie is going to lead us through how to do a self-oil treatment. So this is lovely to do with a partner or with a family member, but again, if you don't have another person to rub oils on your spine, don't worry. There's no reason why you can't offer yourself this treatment. So we're going to teach you how to do the symphony of the cells and an aroma touch treatment to yourself. And we're going to walk you through this. This is going to be an interactive class that we're going to have in a couple weeks. We'll share more about that at the end of the presentation. So that is a wonderful thing to do to really support your whole system. Another super easy thing to do is to simply turn on your diffuser. Like, again, all of these things, because so often people can say, I don't have time. You do have time. It takes a few moments to turn your diffuser on. There's a 10-hour setting. You turn it on, you walk away, you don't even think about it. I have a diffuser in my kitchen, in my office. I have one on right now, right behind my computer, in my bedroom, and in my car. They have shown some really amazing cognitive improvements from diffusing essential oils while you sleep, and it can also really help support your sleep. Um, Suggestions would be putting in passion, peace, balance, Shinrin Yoku, or really whatever oils you love. You can make your own blends. Just put them in your diffuser and turn it on. And then, of course, moving your body, going to the gym, walking, dancing are all lovely things to do. And then also really being mindful of your daily supplementation. We are living in a time where, unfortunately, we do not get enough nutrients from our food, even if you eat well, even if you eat organic. So I've made a few suggestions here is a daily protocol. A baseline protocol is our Lifelong Vitality Pack. Mito 2 Max really helps with mitochondrial health and helps with energy, especially helpful for sexual performance. We are loving the MetaPower line, which supports your metabolic health, which also in turn supports your hormones. And then also the Yarrow Palm Caps, which are not only good for your skin, but are also really helpful if you're in the perimenopausal, menopausal years for women to help keep your tissue, especially your vaginal tissue, healthy and lubricated, because those things tend to dry out as we get older. I also listed a hormone balancing protocol, which includes the LLV, the Lifelong Vitality Pack, again, the MetaPower, the phytoestrogen, citrus oils in your water, and then also daily Clary Calm. So that just gives you some ideas. So again, write in the chat, just pick a couple of those that you're not doing that you would like to implement into your life, and then make a commitment to yourself to start to practice that on a regular basis. Make it as normal as brushing your teeth. It's just something that's not in question that you do on a daily basis. Okay, Arin, back to you.
So the power of aroma, our olfactory system will actually heighten sexual intimacy. Has anyone ever felt like their romantic partner, like you couldn't get enough of their smell? This is where we're going to start to get juicy and talk about some more spicy things. But it's so funny when my husband is sweaty and maybe hasn't showered for 24 hours, I can't get enough of him, right? It is amazing. I love his smell. And then add in vetiver or whisper. Have you ever smelled whisper on a man? I am telling you, get your man to put some whisper on, because what whisper does is it interacts with their chemistry. So whisper smells different on every single person that wears it. That's what it was designed to do. So it is not just for women. Try it on your man. And if you mix it with a little vetiver, it makes this really musky, amazing thing. So people actually choose their partners by subconsciously being attracted to the scent of another person's pheromones. And essential oils can enhance this. So another story here, when I first met my husband, we were at a potluck where I was guiding everybody through an essential oil gratitude exercise. So I had everyone apply a blend of essential oils to their heart chakra, and then we went around the room and said what we were grateful for. So it was my husband's first exposure to me. It was his first exposure to doTERRA. He kind of knew about essential oils, but he had never used them that way. And he tells the story that after that day, he didn't wash his sweater because it smelled so good. And then when he would smell his sweater, guess who he thought of? That cute woman that was giving the presentation. So if you want to be extra attractive to your partner, or if you're looking for a partner, create your signature scent with essential oils in your own chemistry. And we're going to give you some ideas, but be thinking about that. You can put it in your hair, you can put it on as perfume, and your ideal partner is going to love the way that you smell. Okay, Aisha, next slide.
Okay, so let's talk about aphrodisiacs. An aphrodisiac is a substance alleged to increase libido, sexual desire, sexual attraction, sexual pleasure, or sexual behavior. And there are so many essential oils that are aphrodisiacs. As we were talking about earlier, when you smell something, it goes right into the olfactory system, and you can change your mood instantly with essential oils. So, a wonderful way to set the stage, and we're going to give you some more recipes in a moment, is to simply turn a diffuser on. This could be like the first stage and kind of setting the atmosphere for a romantic setting. And then I also want to highlight some of these oils and especially what they're good for. So, of course, there is rose, one of my all-time favorites. This is the queen of the oils. It is a heart opener, but it's also really nourishing for the vaginal tissues. Again, if you are perimenopausal or menopausal or postmenopausal. Unfortunately, those tissues again begin to dry as we age. And there's a lot that we need to do to be really proactive about keeping that tissue healthy. So, literally taking your finger and rubbing it on the rose touch, which has a little coconut oil in, and then rubbing it into your vaginal tissues on a daily basis can be very nurturing for your vaginal health. Jasmine is a very sensual oil and it balances the sexual forces, and it also helps release sexual trauma. And that's something that coming together with a partner can actually be very healing when there's communication, when there's, the trust, you can actually really work through and release sexual trauma. Let's see, neroli is very unifying and it also helps balance the hormones. Cinnamon is very warming, and we have cinnamon in a couple of our lube blends that we're going to share in a moment. Ylang ylang, also very sensual, sexy, warming oil. It's one of a really go-to oil, and just blending this alone with a little bit of coconut oil and using it on your sexual organs can be very stimulating. And then also sandalwood is very heart opening. Black pepper is also very warming. And I want to give you a special recipe, which is for a natural Viagra. So you're going to want to write this down. 2 drops each in a capsule of cassia, Hawaiian sandalwood, clove, and clary sage. So if you need a little boost in your libido, this is something that you can start to take to help give you that little extra boost. And then I'm going to hand it over to Arin, and she's going to talk about some of the other oils on our list.
Thanks, Aisha. One thing to add about sandalwood is it actually helps your body produce more testosterone if needed. So that's probably why it's in that blend that you just shared. So we're going to talk about vetiver. Now, vetiver is a wonderful oil if you have any anxiety or stress around sexual connection. I would start to work with vetiver because it's going to take that anxiety and stress way down. Magnolia is great for transitions. So if you're someone who struggles with moving from, I don't know, taking care of the kids, doing all the householder activity, and then switching into romance or sexy time, try working with Magnolia. Not only is it naturally a good oil for transitions, but as we learned last week on the call, you can actually anchor certain mindsets, beliefs, attitudes with scent. So picking some of these oils as your sexy time oils will help you click into the mood. Vanilla is going to create a very safe space. It kind of reminds me of just a warm hug or being wrapped in a wonderful blanket. Ginger is very warming, so you can massage ginger into your belly area. And if it's in some coconut oil or carrier oil, we'll show you in the lube recipes, it's actually great to massage into the sexual organs to have a warming effect. Clary sage is going to be hormone balancing. Rosemary can be very activating to your brain and your senses to kind of have you come alive and be more present. Coriander is a wonderful scent to add to your blends. Play around with that. It might be something that you don't add. If you remember that we're talking about diffusing different blends, it's one that you can add to your diffuser blends. Passion is a beautiful blend because not only does it have Damiana in there and all those oils, cinnamon, the oils that are for romance and aphrodisiac, but it can be great as a done for you lube, especially the touch one that's already in coconut oil. And then the Whisper blend, of course, it's hormone balancing. Like I said, it smells great on men as well. And that can be a really good one to use for anchoring you into a certain mindset. Okay, next slide, please. And so creating the atmosphere can be so helpful. If your bedroom, take a look into your bedroom. Sometimes this can be, a little upsetting for some of us. But if your bedroom, you walk in there and it does not make you feel beautiful, sexy, relaxed, loved, comforted, sensual, passionate. If you walk into your bedroom and it makes you feel anxious or stressed out, maybe you have laundry everywhere, or you've got a TV in there, or maybe you have work items on your bed, it isn't an atmosphere for love. So starting with the diffuser blend and picking one of these blends, diffusing that in your room so that you begin to use that anchoring of your mind. But also, what color are your sheets? What color are your blankets? Do you have candles? Do you have flowers? What's your decor? You want to create this space in your room so when you walk in there, you're like, oh, I feel relaxed. I'm ready to make love. I'm ready to be in this romantic space. You can also make a sheet spray, which I love to do. That's where you take some oils and a spray bottle, you mix it up with some distilled water, and then you spritz your sheets. Passion is my favorite, but there's some other great blends on here that you could add as your room spray. So you can spritz your sheets and your room every day before you make your bed. And then when you come back in, you'll have that feeling of like, oh, it's so wonderful in here. I feel so relaxed. I'm ready to dive into sleep or lovemaking. Okay, Aisha, next slide. So both Aisha and I follow a woman named Kim Anami. Definitely recommend following her if you would like to expand your sexual lifestyle. And one thing she says is stop having fast food sex. Have gourmet sex. And the difference is fast food sex is when you both have had a long day. Maybe you didn't even take a shower, you just put the kids to bed, or you just buttoned up everything for the end of the day, and you roll over, you do the same thing that you've been doing to each other for the last 10 years because you know exactly how to give each other quick pleasure. And then maybe you didn't even like look in one another's eyes or have a hug afterwards. That's fast food sex. Gourmet sex is when you take days. You can do this. You can take days to make love to your partner. And it begins with making love to yourself. And making love to yourself is not just about masturbation. Making love to yourself is, how do you bathe yourself? How do you apply your moisturizer? How do you care for your hair? What are you putting in your body? How are you dressing your body? Then that gourmet sex can happen throughout the day. Maybe you're sending little love note texts to your partners, or if you both work at home, you walk past one another and brush the lower back or give them a kiss on the cheek. Or maybe you talk about things that you want to do with their body later on, and you can actually make this lovemaking process go for days and days and days. And that is gourmet sex. So what we've given you here is a shower ritual, love your body scrub. And this is a great place to start. You can make this for yourself. And as you're making it, you can actually speak words of affirmation and love into the scrub. And then when you're in the shower, you can be scrubbing your body, giving your body words of love, and you can be thinking about preparing your temple for then a love-making session or even a self-love making session. And for people listening, okay, you can go back, I should read it to them. It's 1 cup of fine sugar or pink salt, 1/4 a cup of fractionated coconut oil or carrier oil, 3 drops of grapefruit, 6 drops of passion. You stir it together, place it in a glass jar, and then use it whenever you take a shower. Okay.
I love that.
Anything to
Yes.
add there, Aisha?
Well, I just, in that same vein of creating gourmet sex, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that with the central massage recipes that we have coming up. But another principle to think about is pleasure first. So imagine if everything you did through the day was pleasurable for you. And I'm talking washing the dishes or, the daily things that we do. How could you make your day more pleasurable? And when we go back to that concept of self-care, a good place to start is how are we loving ourselves in the shower, when we wash our face, when we get out of bed, everything that we do that's routine that many of us probably don't even think about, you just do it on automatic. But how could you begin to start bringing pleasure to you? The more you can begin to live in that state of pleasure, it begins to cultivate energy, it begins to cultivate creativity. If you're feeling stuck in your life, in your relationship, in your career, working on cultivating pleasure and that sexual energy can actually really begin to open up a lot of possibilities in your life. I know Kim Namani actually has talked about working with clients, and when they're actually stuck in their career, she gives them homework around bringing more pleasure into their life and having more gourmet sex. Another wonderful coach is Layla Martin. I also follow her and have done a course with her. And she talks a lot about manifesting through having orgasmic manifestation and how to circulate energy up through the chakras and really focusing on your intentions and creating it from that place. So I think we're living in a time that I'm very grateful that we're beginning to talk about sex. We're beginning to remove the shame about pleasure and about sex, and really recognizing how truly important it is, how empowering it is, and how healing it is, and how it really is something that's needed. And it's something that you can practice on your own. This does not mean you need to have a partner. So, just a little more to add. So, let's talk about my favorite kissing oil. If you know me, you know that MetaPower is my favorite oil for all things. But this is a wonderful oil to put under your tongue before lovemaking begins, because not only is it going to freshen your breath, but it's also going to help open up your senses. It's going to help give you energy. And a tip is if you wake up in the morning and nobody wants to kiss when you have morning breath, but if things are starting and you can't get up and brush your teeth, if you have some MetaPower by the bed, you can put a little bit under your tongue and there you go. And or if you've had a heavy meal or you're in a situation where you can't brush your teeth, I keep MetaPower in my purse and on my bedside, on my desk, in my kitchen. It really is so helpful for freshening the breath, but so much more. And it is a blend of grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, cinnamon, and ginger. And plus, that cinnamon, ginger, and grapefruit are going to also rev up your libido. So that can help get you ready. Okay, so let's talk about central massage. I love central massage because this can be a wonderful thing to do if you are not in the mood. It can help get you in the mood. It can help relax you. It's a wonderful way to both practice simply receiving, if you're receiving the massage, and really tuning into your partner. Another thing that you can do while you're giving a sensual massage is there's something called body mapping, where you actually, it's a whole process of actually bringing in things like feathers or things of different texture, an ice cube, and actually really exploring all parts of your partner's body and seeing which areas are sensitive. So there might be sensitivity behind the knee or on the bottom of the foot or an area that you might not even be aware of. And or they might respond to a light touch or a firmer touch or things that again are not automatic, that we don't know unless we spend some time really exploring with one another. So giving a sensual massage is a really wonderful way that you can begin to open up that exploration. Now, I will give you a tip. You can actually give a vaginal massage, and you can also give a penis massage. And we're not going to go into all of the details of how to do that, but if you go onto YouTube, if you go to Layla Martin's page or Kim Namani, they give a lot of instructional videos on steps of how to specifically give these types of massage. So bringing the essential oils in with that can be a whole nother layer of excitement and just added juiciness. So there is the foreplay blend, which is 5 drops of passion, 5 drops of ylang ylang, and 2 drops of ginger. Again, this is going to be really warming and stimulating. And another thing that I want to add is that if you are postmenopausal or in that transition, one thing that does begin to happen, and I find not a lot of people talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it, is it becomes much more difficult to have an orgasm. It becomes much more difficult to feel sensation or get aroused. And so bringing these oils in that are warming and actually bring blood flow to the sexual organs can really help stimulate your orgasm and or create a longer or more explosive orgasm. And also sensual massage can also help build the body up to that point of climax. So those are just a little extra tips for you. So the Big O sensual massage blend is 5 drops clary sage, 5 drops ylang ylang. Oh, I spelt that incorrectly, but yang yang, and 5 drops neroli. You also can use the beautiful body mist. That is something that if you have some is really lovely. You can also use that as a lube, and or the oils Whisper, Ylang Ylang, Passion, and Sandalwood. So these are all things you can bring in independently. We're just giving you some different ideas. And then of course, diluting these down with fractionated coconut oil or your favorite carrier oil. And then Erin's going to talk about her favorite massage blend, the aphrodisiac blend.
Yeah, and I really want to just highlight again what Aisha was saying about if you're not in the mood. Sometimes we'll go, I'm not in the mood, and you just both turn on the TV and watch a movie instead. And it's been such a great challenge for me to, instead of just going, I'm not in the mood, so I'm not going to connect with you, with my partner, to switch to this idea of a massage, because I'm always in the mood for a massage. That is always fine. And usually the massage does get me in the mood. And even if it doesn't, it just feels great to connect with my partner that way. So my favorite massage blend is 6 drops of sandalwood, 4 drops of ylang ylang, 2 drops of clary sage, and 2 drops of wild orange. It smells absolutely divine. I love it so much. And all those oils they really relax me, and they get me just in a different headspace, which is something I need because I'm a type A personality. I'm a red personality. I like to go, go, go. One of my top strengths is achiever. And that means that I'm always activated and going and thinking. And for me to get into my body and relax takes something extra, and the oils are a perfect way to do that. Okay, next slide. So we also have love bombs, and these can be great because you can use them any way you want. You can use them in massage, you can use them as a lube, you can use them as perfume, and they're really fun to make. So this is cinnamon love bomb. It's 2.5 tablespoons of fractionated coconut oil, 1 tablespoon of cocoa butter, 1.5 tablespoons of vegetable glycerin, 1 teaspoon of beeswax, and 6 drops of cinnamon. You melt them all together, and the way you do that is in a double boiler. So you do hot water in a pan with a bowl, stainless steel bowl or glass bowl, in the hot water, and the ingredients in the bowl that's not got the water in it, and that will melt it. You then add the cinnamon after you remove it from the heat. So you don't want to add the cinnamon when it's heating up. And then you beat it either with a blender or a beater for a few minutes until it thickens and it becomes opaque. Cool, and let it sit for 4 hours before using. Now, cinnamon, I always recommend that you do a little tester to make sure you're not sensitive to cinnamon. So you can take a little cinnamon and test it somewhere on your skin. But if cinnamon is good for you, it is so warming. It opens the capillaries and gets blood flowing, and it tastes great. So it can go all over the body and can really enhance the lovemaking experience. Okay, next slide. So this brings us to essential oil safety. First, you might be thinking essential oils and lube? That's crazy. That you can't do that. Well, go to any adult store, go to any place where you purchase a lube, and there are ingredients in there that are warming. And you know what they're using? Either artificial ingredients or essential oils that are not of high quality. So you can get the highest quality essential oils from Doterra. The CPTG quality testing process includes 8 main steps to guarantee that every batch of Doterra oil is pure, unadulterated, and safe for use. So please do not take our advice and go use cinnamon oil that you buy at the grocery store. That could burn you. It may not be good for you. Use Doterra so that it's balanced and it's healthy for you. You always want to dilute essential oils. You can use fractionated coconut oil. You can use the Yarrow Palm body serum is an excellent option. It has a little peppermint in it already. It's very soothing. And how Aisha has been talking about keeping your vaginal tissues healthy, the Yarrow Palm is going to produce more collagen. It's just a great option. And it's always a good idea to do a little patch test on your wrist, your genitals, your tongue, but you would be surprised what essential oils actually enhance the love-making process. The Meta Power blend, you can add that to fractionated coconut oil and massage that into the genitals, and it's absolutely amazing. So get creative, play around with it. If you run into any trouble, like if you come across an oil combo that doesn't feel so good, remember, just more coconut oil, more coconut oil. That's always going to take care of any uncomfortable situation. And then we forgot to add this to the slide. I hope this can go without saying, but if you are using condoms, coconut oil and especially essential oils will make the condoms ineffective. So using essential oils and coconut oil is something you do either with your self-love practice or when you're in a committed relationship where you don't need to use condoms. Okay, next slide.
Another thing I just want to add really quick is that essential oils are also great at battling infections. So not only do they taste good, not only are they good for you, but they also just help keep, any kind of bacteria or things at bay. So they really are so multi-purpose. And then again, I just do want to stress, if you're new to this, dilute and also patch test. Or if you're using a blend with somebody, before you rub it all over their genitals, put a little bit on their wrist first, or just put a little bit first and ask them, because something that feels really good for you might be way too intense for somebody else. And again, as Arin said, if you put on some cinnamon or peppermint and they're like, woohoo, that is way too much, just put on more coconut oil, not water, more coconut oil. But do be mindful of that. And another thing I love is that you're using things that you can ingest. So, if you're going from the genitals to the mouth, or, like moving all around the body, sometimes with those other products, you don't want to get them in your mouth. You don't want to taste them. So it's nice to have a product that it doesn't matter where it is on the body. If you are getting it in your mouth, if you're tasting it, it's actually very pleasant and adding to the experience and not taking away from it. Okay. Oh, Arin, you were going to talk about the pleasure bombs.
Yes, these are just a couple other recipes for you to play around with. If you're starting to connect the dots, think warming. What are the oils that are warming and activating? So you can make a peppermint or supermint in some raw coconut oil or cocoa butter. And this is specifically for the man's penis. So you can rub it on their penis and it will bring more blood flow, more sensation, more activation. It feels great and it tastes great. For a woman, I recommend the ginger or the geranium. And you can just put that in some coconut oil. So just you would take a drop of geranium or drop of ginger in some coconut oil, and then that can be applied to the woman's genitals, to the breast area. It's warming, it's invigorating. It feels absolutely amazing. I hope you all try this and give us some feedback. I get text messages from girlfriends and they say things like, "Oh my God, that blend that you gave me was better than any Viagra we ever tried." Or, "Oh my God, I've never had an orgasm before. And I used that blend and I had my first orgasm." So these are amazing. Give them a try. Okay, Aisha.
Okay, so let's talk about homemade lubes, which I love using homemade lubes because, again, that it's healthy, it's nourishing, they taste good. And then, of course, the cautions are we recommend you make a small batch first and then see how you like it. You can also test this on the inner thigh. And then I already mentioned that it helps prevent infection. And Arin already mentioned this cannot be used with condoms because it will break down the latex. You can use a base oil, a fractionated coconut oil, avocado, or apricot oil. You could also consider infusing one of those oils with herbs in addition to the essential oil. So depending on how fancy you want to get. And these make really lovely Valentine's Day gifts. So this is all of the things we're mentioning, I think, turn into beautiful gifts, but I'm especially fond of the homemade lube. So a couple combinations: cassia and peppermint, lemon and peppermint, ginger and spearmint, black pepper and peppermint. So again, you can use the one that's drawing to you. And you can also use this as a massage oil and or a bath oil. So again, they're also multi-purpose. And then I want to make a shout out to one of our team members. Her name is Cass, and these are her personal blends. I have sampled them. She used to sell them at our holiday event. And so you definitely want to take a screenshot of this because her blends are amazing. So we have her Get Over Here blend, and I love the titles of her blends, which is 15 drops of lemon, 5 drops of peppermint, 5 drops of ylang ylang, and 2 ounces of fractionated coconut oil. I also will add a little tip. I like putting these blends in a bottle that has a pump on it. I find that, when you're in the middle of the spicy, steamy, connection, it's easier to pump it into your hand than it is to grab the bottle, unscrew it, pour it, So that's just a little side note about ease of use. Like if you just put it in a beautiful pump bottle and have it by your bed, then it just sits there and it's ready when you are. Then this is her can't stop, won't stop blend, which is 3 drops of cinnamon, 2 drops of patchouli. Oh, wait. Oh, 3 drops cardamom, 3 drops of peppermint, and then also a half to 1 ounce of fractionated coconut oil. And then you can also, again, I said this, use it as a massage blend, test on your tongue, your inner thigh, and again, do not use with condoms. And one thing I do want to add about this entire presentation is that these are recipes that we have collected over the last 13 years and that we've used and that we've loved, and we've really kind of brought all of our favorites together to share with you. So here's another one, the Ecstasy Extender. Arin, I'll let you share about this one.
Okay, so this is the one that I get those text messages about. When I share this with people, they love it. And this is just a little side note for those of you who are sharing doTERRA, doing the business. You can host a DIY and have all the supplies so that everybody can make this themselves. And if you want to go to the next level, this is what I did. You can go to your local adult store and ask them if they would like to host a class where you come and you teach everybody to make this blend and you bring all the supplies. So the story is that I taught this class at our local adult store in Ashland, Oregon. I had a handful of people come, and it was an older couple that made the blend. And the woman texted me the next day, and she's the one who said, that was better than any Viagra we've ever used. So what you do is you're going to take a 2-ounce bottle, fill it with fractionated coconut oil, and you'll put 2 drops of cinnamon, 1 drop of ginger, 1 drop of lemongrass, and 1 drop of peppermint. In that bottle, mix it up, and that gets applied directly to the genitals. And you can use it to massage, you can use it as a lube, and something about this mixture, it just makes things crazy. It gets crazy, wild, amazing, so good. You will love it, love it, love it, and tell people about it, give it as gifts, and it smells so good. Okay, Aisha. So this is another great blend created by my friend Bianca. Bianca made this blend, and what was cool about it is she made it, she put it by her bed, and every time she would make love to her partner, they would use this blend. And it's 6 drops frankincense, 4 drops ylang-ylang, 3 drops ginger, 2 drops cinnamon, 1 drop geranium, and 2 ounces of raw coconut oil. So this can be really easy because you can just buy a bottle of raw coconut oil, mix your oils in there, and it's by your bed. So anyways, many months of them using this blend during their lovemaking sessions, she didn't realize, but her partner had created one of those associations to the scent. So one night, Bianca had dry feet and she didn't have any lotion anywhere around, but she had her Boom Boom blend. So she's like, that'll work. That's coconut oil. She rubbed it on her feet. Her partner came into the bedroom and she said he was wild for her. He was crazy for her. And she's like, what happened? I'm sitting here in my sweats. What's going on? And they realized later that the smell had associated in his brain with lovemaking. So you can try out Bianca's Boom Boom blend.
I love that. Okay, we have a hair perfume blend, which is lovely. Now, this could be a great thing to put in your hair on a daily basis or when you're going out on a date, right? So this is a really wonderful way to sort of activate those senses, when somebody gives you a hug, right? So it's 1/3 cup rose water. If you don't have rose water, you can use plain water, but make sure that it is purified water. 10 drops sandalwood, 10 drops cinnamon, 5 drops ylang-ylang, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And you just want to put that in a mist bottle and spray it into your hair. Another great combination is also Whisper and Vetiver together. So those are 2 things. And then also they're nourishing for the hair, they're nourishing for the scalp, and they smell so yummy. So, Arin, is there anything else you want to add? I know we're getting close to the end of our call before we wrap up.
No, I think we've given you lots of great ideas. Just go try it and then share your little goodies for a Valentine present.
So we will close with this beautiful quote. Intimacy transcends the physical. It is a feeling of closeness that isn't about proximity, but a belonging. It is beautiful emotional space in which two become one.
And then we want to make sure that if you're listening to the call and you are saying, I don't have any doTERRA essential oils, that you know how to get them at the best price. You'll just reach out to the person who invited you and they will help you get started. If you spend $150 or more on your first order, you get a free diffuser. So make sure you take advantage of that.
And we meet every Monday at 10 a.m. We love it when you join us live. So thanks to all of you that are here, both on Zoom and in our Facebook community. And we wanted to let you know what we had going on the rest of the month. So next week, we have our Oils A to Z panel, and they're going to be talking about ginger oil, which again is a yummy, warming oil, and it is the oil of empowerment and accountability. And I know that they will also be sharing some special Valentine's Day recipes on that call as well. Then on February 19th, we're going to have Dr. Josie and our Visionary Leaders community, and she's going to talk about the home oil treatments. So she's going to specifically share how to do a symphony of the cells and or aroma touch treatment on yourself. So this is going to be an interactive call, and you want to come with the oils ready. So we are recommending that you come with the aroma touch kit, the emotional aromatherapy kit, or the home essentials kit. We have this all written up in the invite, and we'll send it out in the newsletter if you need to see the list of what those oils are. So make sure to order your oils so you have them on hand. And then on February 26th, we have a special guest we're really excited about. We're going to be talking about energy joy, the stress fix. Science meets ancient wisdom to uplift life and earth with Asha McLaughlin and her guest author, Robert Simon Siegel. So that will be a very special call as well. Now, if you are not on our newsletter, please go to hellovisionary.life. We send out the call notes, the recording, and the highlights from the call every Wednesday at 10 a.m. And we also have text reminders. We apologize. I don't think that got sent out this morning quite on time, but normally they come out right before the call. So they have the Zoom link. So it's super easy to hop on and join us. So thank you all so much for joining us. And I hope that you can use some of these yummy recipes. We would love to hear what your favorites are, or if you have any favorites to share, you can drop them in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Or Arin, do you want to stop the recording?